we're in our last week before we tell the text. That's how I felt when I realized, it's Monday and I still haven't posted. And so I've worked with the text a little bit, hoping to be able to learn it, but I'm not 100% there. So you can't see it, but I have cheat notes in front of me. So let's just go through the whole text. And what I've been doing is I'm trying to get the parable down. I've been writing it out and speaking each word as I hand write it out and hoping that that will get it deeper into my memory. It's working, but it's going to require a few more days. So right now it's not bearing fruit, but if I give it another day, perhaps, maybe then there'll be fruit. And if not, well, I can always cut it out of my Sunday preparation. Let's listen to it, and then I want to share some thoughts I'm having at this time. At that very time, there was some present who told him about the Galileans whose blood Pilate had mingled with their sacrifices. He asked them, "Do you think that because these Galileans suffered in this way, they were worse sinners than all the other Galileans? No, I tell you. But unless you repent, you'll perish as they did. Or those 18 who were killed when the Tower of Siloam fell on them. Do you think they were worse offenders than all the others living in Jerusalem? No, I tell you. But unless you repent, y'all will perish just as they did." And he told them a parable. A man had a fig tree planted in his vineyard, and he came out looking for fruit on it and found none. So he said to his gardener, "See here, for 3 years I've come out looking for fruit on this fig tree, and still I find none. Cut it down. Why should it be wasting the soil?" The gardener replied, "Sir, let it alone for 1 more year, till I dig around it and put some manure on it. And if it bears fruit next year, well and good. But if not, you could cut it down." The Gospel of our Lord. So I have 2 thoughts, which at this point are moving in different directions. I'm not sure if I'll be able to bring them into one message. But my first is thinking about 50 Muslims who were killed in New Zealand. And then, as I asked you to do throughout, those are the people I have in my mind. They're the people who loved those who died. What might they overhear in what Jesus is saying? And then there's the complication of, okay, he's saying they weren't worse sinners, but yet he calls the people listening to repent, that they need to turn around. Created a meme with my thoughts around that. Let me show it to you for a minute here. All right. My thinking at this point is this. Jesus says there are things going on in the world. People murdering others in the act of worship, mingling blood with the sacrifices. And if you all don't seek another way of thinking about things, another way forward, a more godly way than this practice of violence, all of you, meaning all y'all, meaning the whole world, will perish. You must look for another way. So when a crisis like that happens, let it shape your quest to seek a new and more excellent way. Now, my second thought, which just kind of came to me, I'm not sure if I'm going to stick with this, but I was thinking about how when people calculate the years of Jesus' ministry, that they say he worked for 3 years, and I heard that that term in the text. For 3 years I've come looking for fruit on this tree. And I think about those who, the people who Jesus has been teaching, who are sitting in front of him, who still think that those sinners must have deserved the casualty that happened to them, the tragedy that happened to them. Imagine God looking at the ministry of Jesus that's been going on for 3 years and saying, maybe it's just not working. Let's just cut this off right here. Jesus saying to God, Jesus the gardener, the new Adam who tends this garden for God, saying, oh, wait a minute, sir, wait a minute, Lord. Let's give it one more year. And I'll dig around and I'll put manure on it. Let's see what can happen next. And his death becomes kind of the manure, perhaps opens this community up to a new way of being in the world, and that creates a movement that does bear fruits. And the whole rest of the second volume, Acts, tries to describe to us what that's like. Thinking through a biblical text is a process. I'm not sure if I'm at the end of it or what will be pruned away during the next few days. But I thank you for following me on that journey, and I hope that it's been a fruitful one for you. Thank you.